I just worked on Rufus Wainwright's record in Studio 2, and Susanna Hoffs came in, and she's going to come on this too to talk about, obviously, Manic Monday. You worked with Apollonia 6 and did those records here or Sound Factory?
I remember very few sessions with Prince at Sound Factory.
I think they were here. There was Apollonia 6 stuff was in February '84 here, and I think in 3.
We did quite a lot of that at home as well. At home and in Kiowa Trail.
The last songs or two. Happy Birthday, Mr. Christian was done at home, and I'm trying to think.
I remember working on that at the warehouse in Minneapolis as well.
Yeah, that might have been where it was done. I know it was done in Minneapolis.
Prince wrote Manic Monday himself.
Yeah, he
correct?
wrote Manic Monday, but he did Manic Monday here, and that was during the time he did. Blue Limousine I think was done in here. Most of that album was done within a week. I mean, he had a really crunch time for like a week or two where he just kind of focused on that.
He was the sole writer of Manic Monday.
Yes.
He might have been inspired. I mean, the thing is, and there's always people inspired him. Susanna Melvoin inspired, songs, and different people inspired different songs for him. I don't know when it comes to writing. I wasn't in the room.
I was.
Say. Yes. Okay.
Peggy and I compared notes on this, and we have very different memories of this, which is alarming to us both. But we were at home in Minneapolis, and I had a night off, a rare night off. Prince was going out. He was going to First Avenue or something, so I had the night off. And I went out. I had a date. And I wore something nice to go on my date because it was the 80s and I was a young woman. And sure enough, I come home from my date and I get that phone call that says, Susan, can you come down to the warehouse where our API console was? And I didn't have time to change clothes or anything like that. So in my nice clothes, I went flying down to that warehouse. And I got in there in a bit of a huff because it was so rare to have a night off and to actually go out on a date and be interrupted by that. But, whatever, he called. And so I came down in my more fancy clothes. And I remember him having that notebook and writing. It was 6:00 already. I was just in the middle of a dream. Kissing Valentino by a clear blue Italian stream. But I can't be late because I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. Everything, if you're a writer, everything inspires you. So your employee rushing through the door, disheveled and just in a little bit of a huff, trying not to be late, but obviously dressed up for a more romantic evening, I believe was the genesis of that. I remember that, and I remember quite a lot of other songs that we did at that time. It was a very fertile period for him. Peggy remembers doing Manic Monday here. It's possible we did it 2 places. It's possible we did it at home with so many other songs at home in that warehouse in Minnesota, and that we also did it here as well.
Sure.
This is the thing I'm finding with a lot of the songs you're asking about, who wrote them and stuff. A lot of it is the inspiration of things, like you were just saying, or where this thing came from. If you've got a machine where you're feeding the time, Apollonia 6, the family and stuff like this, there's going to be tons of different inspirations for things.
Exactly.
And every sentence you say to the guy or every joke you say to the guy has the potential to be in a song. So inspiration can come from anywhere. And I think Jill Jones had said, just because a song may be about this person doesn't mean it's not about that person and this person and that person too.
Yes, it's an aggregate, yeah. And inspiration takes over. The fruit can fall very far from the tree. Right. So you've got the original seed of, there's my employee, I bet she was on a date. And after that, it's just pure imagination. Right. You can't say a song was about any one person.
Nothing compares to you. There's like 3 or 4 stories about where that potentially came from, and Prince would be the only one that could answer, and even he wasn't always
sure.
He wasn't always. He was a little evasive about where the inspirations came from on that.
Yeah, and kind of as we should be, because why do we need to know?
Right. That's
what's it matter?
We all want to know, but I understand exactly what that. Yeah. I think knowing, we're all curious who the Carly Simon wrote the song about, and things like that. But would that answer anything? It's like seeing the magician's secret.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want to know, because it might make this song less special.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
We part of the book that I've written is about that, is what music does once it becomes ours in our own heads. And that's part of the life of music, is the new life, the second life it takes on when we're listening to it. It becomes what we think
Yeah.
It is.
I think there's a quote by Prince that says something like, once the song is out there, it's yours.
It's yours.
Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get royalties off of the song. It is mine.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, also since it's passing, though, just finding out the actual factual information, because back in those days, there's no
the
cameras, there's
thing.
no social media, there's none of that going on, and it's like, who was in the room? Who wrote these songs?
I'll tell you this,
everybody claims
yeah.
they've written everything now, and it's
One of the
bullshit.
trickiest things